What's going on, everyone? It's Indy here with Ultimate 2 Reviews. Well, we unfortunately have a rather disappointing new tool launch from Makita today. I just finished watching the Torque Test channel. He just did a test on that, and of course, the new XWT19 did pretty abysmal. That's going to be Makita's new high torque impact wrench. Well, they're not really calling it a high torque impact wrench. If you look close at the video, you look closely at all their marketing on it, they're not calling it really a high torque impact wrench. They're just calling it an impact wrench. That's all they're really calling it. And, unfortunately, Makita is claiming, I noticed this in the email, they're claiming more power and longer runtime. I'm sure it's got longer runtime than the older one because it actually has less power. Now, Makita isn't hiding that it has less power in any way, because if you go and look at the spec sheets here, 780 foot-pounds of fastening torque, 960 foot-pounds of nut-busting torque, that is obviously quite a bit less than the old outgoing model. Although the fastening torque is going to be a slight bump up, about 40 foot-pounds, Torque Test channel really didn't see too much of a difference there. In fact, it fell kind of short from the older model there. Now, I'm sure you're wondering what this all means exactly from Makita, and honestly, I've got two theories about what's going on here and why Makita would release a new high torque impact wrench 10 years later, which Torque Test Channel made that claim about, it's like a aircraft carrier size gap there between Milwaukee and DeWalt, who Milwaukee and DeWalt are fighting pretty hard, pretty head to head, of course, when it comes to high torque impact wrenches. They've got a ton out. DeWalt is definitely pulling ahead pretty quick right now. But we're also forgetting about Makita XGT. Now, Makita XGT has not done a half-inch high torque yet for the XGT line. They have the 3/4 impact wrench, which I've got myself. Absolutely love it. Tons and tons of power in that thing. And that kind of brings me to my first theory about why this impact wrench even exists. And I think it's to do with the LXT line kind of just throwing their hands up. Like, what do you want us to do? There's not much more to the LXT line. Pretty much saying that the XWT, the outgoing model here, is going to be, that's about as best as we can do, the XWT08. I've reviewed this one in the past. It's a big impact wrench. It's definitely not the best one that I've tested to date. A lot of the new DeWalt and Milwaukee options are far superior to this when it comes to power, how smooth it is, the weight of it. And check this out, these specs here, we're going to show about 1800 RPM, 2200 impacts per minute. We also have a weight with battery, 8 pounds, overall length, 9 inches. Now, moving over to the new one, the XWT19, check out the specs here. Every single one of these specs is slightly better. Every single one here, it's a half a pound lighter with the battery. We gain about 200 RPMs, 200 impacts per minute. And then we're, of course, gaining a slightly smaller overall dimension as well there, too. So is that just kind of Makita saying, well, we can edge out a little bit more, of all these specs, but we're going to lose a bit of power here, and being like, well, if you want it, there you go. And that's kind of my guess there. Now, if you're wondering, hey, why would Makita do that? Why would they just say, LXT, we're pretty much done. We're throwing our hands up here. And it's one of those things that Makita has kind of skirted around a little bit. A few other people have talked about it, and that's going to be their battery technology. The LXT battery platform has not done anything in years and years now. Whereas Milwaukee has new Forge batteries, DeWalt has FlexVolt and Power Stack batteries, which are pretty amazing stuff. Makita's still got the 1.5 amp, the 2 amp, the 3, the 4, and the 5, and then rarely the 6 you can really find in a kit. And that's about it. There's not really any other options. They're using older cells in those batteries, and that might just be as much power as they can pull out of those batteries. That might be about it. So that might be the second limitation there. That's my second theory, is are we at the just max battery output, that they can possibly pull from those batteries for these high, drain tools like these high torque impact wrenches? Is that going to be about it? I don't know, but the one thing I will give Makita credit for here is coming out with a new impact wrench. It stayed the same price. This is the outgoing model, the XWT08. $329 at Acme Tools right now, and here's a new one, also $329. Not a bad deal when it's actually the same price. Now, do I say, hey, buy the XWT19? No, I can't really recommend it. I'm not going to put a link in the description. If you want to check it out, I will have my active link in the description. You want to check it out there. But honestly, I can't recommend this tool at all. Don't even have for testing. But, 10-year difference here, guys. And we have some just very minute, improvements. They didn't really add any modes, as you can see. It's pretty much just the exact same tool, slightly different shell, and that's going to be about it, unfortunately. And I think Makita, in saying, I'm just guessing here, maybe they're saying, LXT, they're throwing their hands up like that's all we can do, with the battery packs until we get something else for battery packs. That might be they're saying, hey, if you want more power, go XGT. Because the XGT impact wrenches are putting out some serious power, and that's definitely where things are moving here pretty quickly. Am I saying LXT is on its way out? I mean, they're still releasing plenty of tools for LXT. It's still their largest line by far. I'm sure it way outsells XGT too, but I think Makita might be artificially or possibly, organically capping their power output of LXT and saying anything above this, you got to jump into XGT if you need more power. So guys, that's my best guess on this really abysmal, new tool release here. It's not like it's anything amazing. If it came in like $100 cheaper, the old model, I mean, I guess that would be something there, but nothing really, too amazing to say about it. Other than, of course, it's got some better specs here and there, but putting out less power, especially with Milwaukee and DeWalt putting out just massive figures, is just not acceptable right now. Makita has to do better. So guys, that's all I've got for you today. Leave me a comment below. Love to hear your thoughts, what you guys think about this. Is LXT, they doing something with, the batteries need to be redone? I think that's definitely a big thing they need to do. But what is going on here? So guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Have a great day and stay safe out there.